I feel like instead of comparing like who's the GOAT, who's the best, okay, just came up. Who's the GOAT, who's the best? We should compare people by names. Like imagine, right? And it'd be crazy because a lot of people aren't gonna play in the same position. So like I'm over here comparing like Ray Lewis to Ray Rice, or like Michael Vick to like Michael Pittman Jr. like see how many random people can we get? Like see what's consistently the rawest name? Like who is consistently eating? Because like that Aaron, we had Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones. I'm just saying, or maybe
Aaron
we could
Donald.
get Aaron Don. Maybe we can get all the people like teams set up with people all with the same names and start seeing like who pound for pound got it. I'm just saying that's something to do this summer.
I don't got time. I don't got no spreadsheet space for all them names. Because then you guys got to take like we're before like Davante. Is Davante Smith and Davante Adams and two different Davantes?
That's fucking crazy. Imagine like, you gotta have a special Davante league, but special league just for Davantes. But Pablo, man, week 6 NFL. How you feeling? That shit was fire.
I felt pretty good. Overall at the pod, we did pretty good on our picks. You won this week, but I'm
I
just
didn't
happy.
count out what it was.
Oh, really? Let me see. I got it right here. I went 10-3 to Kev's 11-2. So overall, but
Damn, 11-2. Shut on
I
me.
will say that boy Marcus went undefeated this week. He sent me his picks for his separate thing, and that bitch was like, he was like, bro, if the Bills win, I go undefeated. And lo and behold, the Bills ended up winning, and he goes undefeated.
I think this is just the week that everybody was supposed to win one because if I don't pick, and the thing is, like, I probably can go 11-1 because I really didn't want to pick the Saints. I just really hate the Bucks, and I needed some more dogs. The Colts won.
Yeah, Colts won.
All my dogs won except the Saints.
No, the Broncos.
The Broncos got, and I picked them.
Yeah, they got cooked.
Cooked. I think the Chargers are low-key not a bad team, but
This was the week of the favorites because the public went crazy. The public in most betting places was like like all the games where the public was the majority of the money. They were like 9-0.
wow.
Or like 8-1, something crazy where like the books were saying like they gotta absolutely fuck. This is arguably like the worst day in history for like sports books.
Wow.
Keep
But
that in mind for the picks next week because like they're gonna get their money back. Like Vegas looks the way it does for a reason.
I'm crying. But hey, man, Paul, kick us off, man. Let's get this show cracking.
All right, well, we gotta go all the way to the London. Oh no. We're actually gonna go a little bit backwards. I'm gonna throw the lasso on this bitch. We're gonna start it off Monday Night Football. We're gonna go front to back.
Oh, front to back. I like that. I like that.
Fresh off of Monday night, we got the Bills.
We gotta go breaking news first.
Oh no, this is why I'm going away. We're gonna go the Bills beating Jets 23-20. We get to see Josh Allen getting the win here. Aaron Rodgers once again gets the ball in the fourth quarter, has a chance to maybe go out there and win this thing. And once again, he trusts Mike Williams, and it doesn't. It goes awry. But I also wanted to start it off here because not only I want to hear your take on the game, but of course, both of these teams are involved with the name of this live is Amari Cooper is going to the Buffalo Bills, the team that won.
What?
And Davante Adams is sliding to the Jets. It's a conditional third round pick. If Davante Adams makes an all pro first or second team or is on the roster of an AFC championship team, it turns into a second round pick.
Yo, I didn't even hear that Amari Cooper shit. That's how busy my fucking day was today. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to start here because both teams were in prime time Monday night. We got to talk the game, but these are both teams that just went out and got themselves a wide receiver one. One already had a wide receiver one. The other, they gave Josh Allen what he needed, and we'll discuss what this means for the Browns when we get to them.
Okay, we can talk about the game first, right? But damn, that's crazy. Let's knock this game out because I gotta talk about this. I think that's phenomenal for both teams. For one team than the other, but that's really good for both teams. But So I'm watching this game, Paolo, and I'm thinking, all right, Bills, y'all doing it, y'all doing the thing. Josh Allen is running out the pocket. He's getting whacked. I'm utterly convinced. If it wasn't for that roughing the passer call in the fourth quarter, I would have been utterly convinced all game that they don't call roughing the passer on Josh Allen because Josh Allen be getting whacked. They like, nah, fuck it. You probably thought about
Aaron Rodgers though.
Yeah, all day. But they was like, they probably be sitting there thinking like, yo, he probably thought about leaving the pocket, so fuck that. We're not calling it. Like, but Aaron Rodgers was getting the calls all day, so I'm like, oh, you guys aren't staying consistent even slightly. But that's not my problem. I thought this game was crazy because I thought the Bills had this. They're going into halftime with momentum. They were killing it, and then next thing you know, Aaron Rodgers throws up that Hail Mary.
To his who?
Allen Lazard, big dog.
His boy.
That shit is crazy. So like now he made this a fucking ball game. Like just off of that throw, now it turns into like, okay, because his offensive line sold the whole game. You're the O line man. Tell me why the fuck is the Jets O line selling Aaron Rodgers on drive like this? He got sacked on. There was one drive where he got sacked on first down and third down. I was like, that's crazy.
It has to do with a little bit of the O line is the one position group where you can't just throw money at it to hope things go away because that's what they did this year. They threw a whole bunch of money at it. They go get Morgan Moses. They get Tyler Smith. These are guys that are good players. Like they're not like these are Pro Bowlers, all pro caliber type of guys throughout their seasons, veterans at that too. Like, but when you hear any O lineman speak, it's all about like the chemistry, the cohesive. Like, you gotta be able to know what your left tackle's doing and your right guard's doing. And you gotta be able to know what everyone's doing at the same time, working in the same rhythm, same motion. And it doesn't just automatically work because we got better players at every position. That's what I think the issue may be. I think it's a lack of chemistry. If that is what Jets fans are hoping it is, because that's something that gets better as the season progresses.
Okay.
But if it is more than that, if it's like, oh, these guys are like the play calling isn't helping the O lineman and maybe Aaron Rodgers, because sometimes quarterbacks do it to themselves where they put themselves in positions to get sacks. You see that a lot with younger quarterbacks. But we'll see as the season goes. But right now, it is a glaring issue. But you can't even say like, oh, the O line sucks. It's like, no, they went out and spent like $60 million. Like they got the guys.
Okay. I appreciate. I needed to get names because I needed to start calling niggas out because Tyron Smith, that boy, that camera. We gonna hope that they get better because Tyron Smith, Morgan Moses, who else was letting shit up? I'm gonna just call those two out right now because I can't remember. Oh, 76. John Simpson. Yeah, 77, 78, and 76. Them boys, I can't remember if it was 78 or 77 or both, but 76 for sure. They was just letting shit up all game. I'm like, God damn. And they're just looking like they looking confused, like I thought you had them type shit.
That's what happens whenever you don't have, because maybe we're the last team they were. Whenever they call this certain pass protection, he moves one way because he's used to the guard pulling a different way. You know, like you're not used to these guys and the way they think, move, and operate.
And then 76 and that cadence is not it. Like, and they gotta lock in. Him and Aaron Rodgers gotta really sit down and because I'm pretty sure they got more false starts than offsides they let up.
But this is where I will say you can say that for the O line, but this is why people show up to training camps. Like this, like those little things that I bet you can get off the couch and throw the ball really well. Aaron Rodgers, I mean Joe Flacco can do it, and like you're a better quarterback than what Flacco is. I'll give you that, but like it's also like these little things where Garrett Wilson wasn't good on the fucking signals going into week 1 and 2. Fucking the O line isn't good on your cadence yet. This is what training camps are for. Like, and I try not to get into like because I do think the media has an agenda against Aaron Rodgers, but also I can sit here and say like, yeah, sometimes you do fucking do it to yourself. Because if this was a different quarterback, that would be reason number 1 on why this shit's not going good.
Yeah, so this is a team. I don't think they're dead in the water. I think the Bills. they are a team of two halves, and I think they're going to be like that all season. They're going to play one way one time, one way at one point in the game, and another way at the best. And I don't trust them in crucial moments to make the right decisions, the best decisions in crucial moments. So that's the reason why I can see them always being a good team, but never that championship winning team. But I think this Jets team, they can mold with Aaron with if they can mold with Davante Adams, this O line can start figuring things out. They can raise up raise up morale over there. Because I don't know if morale's low, but I'm watching the OC, the offensive coordinator for the Jets on the sideline, and he's fired up the whole game. I'm talking about he is lit. That Hail Mary, he was going stupid. Like he's fired up, and I was watching that. And I was like, that's a dynamic they didn't have before. I don't know if this defense can be trusted. At the before halftime, I didn't know if I could trust the defense. I think later in the game they started playing better, and then motherfuckers were missing field goals like it was nothing. Like that win had to have been insane. I didn't check, but that win had to be crazy because there had to have been at least 3 or 4 missed field goals that game.
An extra point.
Like
And
what?
the win was crazy, but the the Jets offense, we just keep thinking it's gonna turn on, turn on, turn on. Maybe we'll get into this trade here in a second, but it hasn't turned on yet. If you take away that Hail Mary before half, they put up 13 points. And it's like red zone. They're almost looking like the Saints of last year, where like they get into the red zone or they get past the 50 and the offense just completely dies. Like they had enough plays to get past the 50 and then nothing else after that.
And they're not scoring the red area in general. Like if the red zone is the 20-yard line, the red area is the 30. Like they're not doing it. Like they're getting in there. They're getting past interference calls. They're getting stuff. But a lot of their drives were continued by penalties, like those roughing the passes or pass interference or like some bullshit. Like those calls were crazy. And that was the reason why the offense, I felt like, were able to put things together. But I liked Aaron Rodgers' game just off the fact that he realized his O line isn't blocking for him. So he showed that he's still that deadly motherfucker that can get out the pocket by a little bit of time. Because that's the reason why they got the Hail Mary. They bought a little bit of time. They let all 3 of their guys get in there. And Alan Lazard was able to get over like at least five Bills players. So like, I'm not mad at their offense. I feel like the offense can cook. I don't know what the fuck's going on with the running game. But as long as I feel like the offense can cook, but they got to gel and they got to mesh. And maybe firing the coach is the best thing they could have did.
And then now we got to get into the big breaking news. Both of these teams getting a clear cut wide receiver one here. What everyone thought was going to happen before the season started finally happened. Davante Adams goes to the Jets, conditional 3rd round pick that could turn into a 2nd round pick. And Amari Cooper, this is the bigger shocker, I think, out of everything. He's going to the Bills. He doesn't really cost anything, so it doesn't really affect any cap or anything. So they go get themselves a real wide receiver one to replace Stephon Diggs. Both teams has definitely got a boost. How do you feel about both these trades?
Oh, well, I think they're both definitely boosts. They're definitely pluses. The fact that Aaron Rodgers can get comfortable, and then as well, Davante Adams can maybe have a relationship with Garrett Wilson, and they can kind of like explain this offense. And that's what I'm saying. Like I can see cohesion coming because they're pulling out all the stops.
Yeah,
and they're not risking the future. That's what I like. And I heard that they even gave Hassan Reddick a fucking contract that would have gave him all the money that he got fined back.
Oh,
but
I don't know about I don't know. Maybe that did happen because he seems to be getting in his own way. But I do know they also gave him permission to seek a trade. So
yeah, no, but it's because he declined that trade. They're like, "Yo, bro, we fuck it. Just go find something then, because like we got to do something, kid. You're over here taking up space and time now."
Yeah, and I agree with what you said that they doing it all because I didn't believe in the rumors that Saleh and Rodgers weren't clicking. I think that's more media narrative, but I do want to say that like this is like ownership saying like here's the keys to the kingdom, Rodgers. We fucking did everything you wanted. We gave you Alan Lazard. You got now you got Davante Adams. There's no more. You got the $50 million O line in front of you. There's nothing. There's nothing else we can fucking do for you. Like if you lose, if we go fucking 7-9 this year, or whatever, 7-10 or 8-9 this year, there is no one else we're gonna be able to blame other than you, and you gotta accept that.
I think it's crazy because like Aaron Rodgers could have a bad year this year. Well, not bad year. They could just miss the playoffs, and he could retire and just blame it on his team. Like you're like, yeah, they just weren't ready for it. But I don't think that's the case. I think this team starts playing better football later into the season, and their division is still wide open. Like they're only down 2 games to a team they just lost to.
Yeah, no, but the Bills, it was like analytically, like if the Jets win, it's like a 46% chance that they could still be the number one team, and Bills are like 50. And then it was like, but Jets lose, they go to like 17%, and Bills are like 80. Like they got like a massive like lead just because of the head to head.
But I think that was before the Davante Adams trade. Like that was like on some analytics or just off of just regular stats.
Like if you lose this game analytically, or how does that fare for you to be your likelihood of winning division?
I ain't gonna lie to you. There's a couple. I actually seen a crazy stat that was talking about the analytics for like a few games this year that have been blown. Like how the Falcons only had like a 1.3% chance or something like that to beat the Bucks on
Oh
Thursday
yeah,
night.
those are like my favorite things to see. Like when a team's coming back after like a bit, and it'd be like fourth quarter, 4 minutes left. At that point, there was a 98% chance that this team was gonna win, and they fumbled it.
Yeah, and then like Arizona was on that list. Arizona and was it Seattle? No, the Rams, Matthew Stafford and them boys. They're both finalists for mine and they beat the 49ers. But let's get into the Bill side because we got to talk to Slate, right?
Yeah.
Because I got to talk.
Amari Cooper, I think that's the bigger hitter of the two, just because
facts.
they got a legit wide receiver one. Like they realized, okay, Keon Coleman isn't gonna be the guy. Dalton Kincaid's a good tight end, but we're not gonna be able to run an offense around him. James Cook didn't play last game, so they didn't have the running game to like lean on like they usually do. Even though Ray Davis kind of came in and just took over, it didn't matter. And then Curtis Samuel and Shakur, like they just realized, like, okay, if we want to win a fucking Super Bowl, this might not be the exact team. We might need to get a little bit more juice at the receiver position, and that's exactly it. Costs nothing. I don't even know. I think they traded like a fifth or fourth round. I don't even know the exact trade details yet, but I know it wasn't nothing crazy. And you go get a guy that Josh Allen can now like throw those 50-50 balls to. I know he's been itching. Motherfucker been itching to throw them 50-50 balls, and now he at least got someone that you can trust. And people are going to come out with these statistics that how he's the worst wide receiver right now in the league because of his drops and this right now. But it's also like Deshaun Watson is throwing him these fucking passes. And the second thing is, I feel like after week 2 or 3, when they were like, certain people start just giving up. Like, yo, like they're going to keep putting out this guy to throw me the ball. I ain't fucking running my hardest. I feel like Amari Cooper going to the Bills on a team that could win a Super Bowl with a quarterback that's a huge upgrade. We might see the best Amari Cooper we've seen in like the last. We saw Joe Flacco at the end of the year. That motherfucker had like a 210-yard game and 2 touchdowns.
He did. I forgot about that.
Like Amari Cooper still got it in him, and I think with the Bills, yeah, I really, as a Dolphins fan, I don't like it, but as a football fan, oh, this is gonna be fun.
Damn, y'all gotta make a trade too, kid. Like y'all can't just let on the boys.
But Tua's getting healthy. That's all that we need, bro. Like
week 8
can't come closer. No, week 8 is just around the corner.
Mm-hmm. Let's say less, man. So we talking across the pond. We moving
across the pond. We gotta talk. I locked it. I locked it for a reason, Kev. I told you. This is one of the easiest picks I had. And defense travels. Defense definitely showed up. They did play a little shaky earlier. Was it Caleb Williams that fumbled? Someone fumbled early, and I was like, oh, damn, the Bears might really fuck it up for me. But nah, 35-16. And do we got to start talking about, is the Caleb Williams Rookie of the Year tickets like breathing some life again? Like, does it got a little heartbeat? Like, hey, like my future bet ain't dead yet.
I mean, it would be. I would say it had like a little
four TDs. And I think he threw 4 this game, 2-2. So like in the last like 3 weeks, he has like 8 touchdowns.
I would say it's beaten because you also have a great run game to lean on because DeAndre Swift is doing his thing. Your receivers are because like they're not just scoring touch, they're making effort plays like that touchdown last week to DJ Moore after doing the water bottle thing to check the wind, and then the touchdown to both touchdowns to Keenan Allen were crazy grabs, and then both touchdowns to don't tell me the other digit, not
the tight
coconut.
end.
Both touchdowns. Yeah, they were both effort plays. Like they were crazy, crazy effort plays. So motherfucking like them boys put everything they had in that bit. So they're showing that everybody's coming out to play, everybody's doing their best, and that defense is so solid that it can keep you in good positions.
Yeah, Jalen Johnson is arguably like a top. I mean, if it wasn't for Pat Surtain, he could be the best corner in the league right now for the Bears. And on the other side, because I think you hit the nail on the head for the Bears, the Jags just they're done. Doug Peterson is probably the next coach out of here. They paid Trevor Lawrence, so like he's there. I'm not saying he's playing the worst because there's definitely some worse quarterback playing the league. But I can't really pinpoint it. The defense line up 35 ain't gonna let you win a game. Trevor Lawrence not being able to score more than 20 ain't gonna win you a game. Tank Bigsby's gonna be running back 1 because it looks like ETN got hurt, which if you're an ETN owner, I know that hurts. But if you're a Tank Bigsby on the waiver wire guy, I know that shit is looking good right now. But yeah, like
no, we don't congratulate injuries, but we are hoping that Tank Bigsby produces well because I'm one of them waiver wire guys.
Yeah, so I mean, good win for the Bears, 4-2. And Kev, this is a game of my 2 takes on polar opposite sides. My Jags winning division take, looking ice cold, but my 3-division NFC North take, 3-team playoff NFC North take is looking fucking great. They have like 4 of the top 6 teams in the NFC right now. Like everyone's 4-2 or better.
Wow.
Yeah, with the Vikings undefeated, Packers 4-2, Bears 4-2, and
Oh, they just haven't played each other though.
And the Lions are 4-2. So yeah.
They just haven't played each other.
Then going down 1:00, we have the Patriots losing at home 21-41. This was an absolute blowout. CJ Stroud, Joe Mixon, Stephon Diggs, the whole offense.
Pierce got in there.
Yeah, Damian Pierce 54-yarder. I mean, the whole team took a turn. Everyone's going to talk about Drake May looking pretty good because he did 3 touchdowns, a couple interceptions, led the team in rushing yards as well, but kind of didn't fear the moment. It was a ball game at halftime until it wasn't. And can't say enough about not Vikings, but the Texans. 41-40 was still a lot of fucking points. But the Patriots, I mean, at least you can say, hey, we got our quarterback for the future. And I'm telling you, he's generation. Drake May was my numero uno quarterback by a long shot.
No, bro. I looked at this shit and I was like, oh, because I don't watch college football like that. So I'm just like, oh, this is the dude that Paul's talking about. Yeah, he is kind of the truth. And
the baby face.
And the thing about this shit, I'm so glad Bill Belichick is in there because Bill Belichick wouldn't have picked him. But more than anything, like they would have really slept on him. They would have been like, yeah, man, let's start Jacoby Brissett. Or let's go get another old dude and make him the 3rd string. Like, fuck it. Like, Jit is nice. Jit is smooth. I don't think him starting changes anything much for the team. It's not like they're about to go CJ Stroud and really start locking in. But they can win some games with Brian under quarterback.
And this is a perfect time, I think, to start because even if next week he comes out and throws for 150 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, it's a learning experience. Like we weren't going nowhere this season. Like we were already like 2 and whatever. Like season's over. Let him get the reps. Let him get the learning process and just take it from there.
And that can help like reinvigorate other parts of the team. I feel like people are looking like, oh, okay, because like imagine the amount of defensive players that are probably sitting there thinking, yeah, good shit, young bull. Like you feel me? Like if they had won that game, they would have gave him the game ball, and everybody would have got lit. So
his response. Did you hear his
Yeah.
response?
No, I didn't hear what he said.
In the post, they said they were talking about, oh, you threw 200 something yards, threw touchdowns. Like, you're the first quarter. They start bringing us some ESPN stats. Like, you're the first quarterback to wear blue and do this on a Sunday at this time. They started hitting him with some like stats that you never heard of. And he's like, bro, I come from a family that don't give like we don't care about the stats. Like, we lost the game. Like, my family, like, that's all that matters. Like, he had such a good answer for like, I didn't give a fuck about the stats. Like, we lost the game. And then he followed up with like, but my family's probably gonna bring it up to me like every year now. Like, hey, you remember your first game ever? You lost. Like, because I'm like, damn, that's some real, not hating shit, but that's how I'll be. Like, yeah, but remember your first game ever in the NFL? You fucking lost.
Oh, fuck you too, nigga.
No, but that shit, I was like, yeah, that's a winner right there.
Yeah, I do fuck with that mentality. And he just looks cold. Like I like one thing about me when it comes to young any players, like if you can come through and just show that you're not scared of the moment, we love to see that. Because that shows that you can that shows because you can't practice that, you can't coach that, you can't teach that. That's something that's just in you.
You have
And
it or you
like,
don't.
he's a smooth young boy. I fuck with bro.
All right, on to the next game. Just because I know we're gonna talk this one for a little bit, then we got to run through the next. Uh, Ravens beating the Commanders 30-23. I did take him as my dog. I'm not upset with the result because it was a fucking ball game. It wasn't like a blowout. It was there until it wasn't. And I also do want to say I wasn't gonna complain about the reffing until Twitter complained about the reffing, and they were just showing like there was a lot of calls that the Ravens got that were blatant calls, rightfully so. But when the Ravens blatantly did the same exact thing to the Commanders, like the very next drive type shit, they wouldn't get the call. So it was like drive stalling out for the Commanders, Ravens getting an extra set of downs type vibe. Where like I said, I wasn't gonna complain. That Twitter community definitely did their job and pointed it out enough for me to get it on my algorithm to see like, oh yeah, that was missed. But no one gives a fuck at the end of the day. We're not going to think about blown calls at the end of the season. Commanders didn't think they'll be here. I don't think they care if they lose this game right here. Lamar undefeated against rookie quarterbacks. Harbaugh, I was telling you the stats prior. This dominates rookie quarterbacks. I should have listened to the stats. Jaden Daniels is different. He is nice, but that boy Lamar, an MVP motherfucker for a reason.
I respect it. I mean, every time I watch these players play, I'm just sitting there thinking, like, as a defender, I would be so upset. Imagine just locking up my guy, holding him down. He didn't do nothing. Didn't get no handsy.
Or in your head, like, I got this guy in a motherfucking box right now.
And now I'm over here. Now I'm also trying. And then I see he stop running his route. So I'm like, perfect. Now I can catch my breath. Let me look back. And there's some motherfucking athletic ass motherfucker running straight towards me. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how does this work? And now I thought he was running towards me. He changed lanes and is starting to accelerate the other way. That's the definition of having to do it. I didn't check the rushing yards on this game, but I felt like these offenses just kept both defenses uncomfortable, like very unsettled. Like I think this is a game that, like, yeah, 30 points to score, 30-23. It's not a crazy game, but it's also not like a low scoring game. But like I feel like
that's 53 points.
Yeah, I mean, that's not. We've seen like the 30-30 games. I'm like, those are the crazy games, 60 something. But they did their thing and they tried to win. They really tried to win. But I think the Ravens just showed that, like, yo, we're the better team right now, and we got the home field advantage, baby.
And I think we have a Derrick Henry. They didn't have Brian Robinson Jr. for the Commanders, which I didn't know. I had him in my fucking starting lineup in one of my leagues. I was unable to change, unfortunately. But only having Austin Eckler, I think, kind of changed a little bit of things. Not saying that Brian Robinson's some like a Derrick Henry, but he is somebody. I mean, he's been scoring. That motherfucker has like 6 touchdowns this year. He's been very productive, and he's an in between runner. Derrick Henry is also one of one, was like 150, 156, 155. He had like 150 yards, couple touchdowns. That's fucking breaking your will, breaking your back. Zay Flowers had his breakout game of the year and all. Like, the Ravens played, I won't say their best game, but like they played damn near not perfect game, but just one of their a finer game of the season. offensively wise. Like everybody ate, everybody had a good game, and if the Commanders could keep up with that, that just kind of showed me that like we say with fighters, like they didn't lose stock in this loss. Like they kept up with this Commanders, even with a bad defense, they're gonna be in all the ball games with this offense.
So the best term I've heard recently is in the National Football League, there's no such thing as a good loss. But there are losses where you look good. And that's what that was. And I just realized why my take was that. I watched this. This was the only game I watched from like 1 to 2. Because like I was like, I gotta see this matchup straight up. And the first half wasn't crazy scoring like that. The first half, I think the first quarter only it was only like 7-3 or something like that. But they kept making plays though. There were no 3 and outs like that. There wasn't like Dave Flowers was doing his thing. He was cutting up. The Commanders were figuring it out slowly but surely. Like there were just you could tell these teams were like meshing, and then they peaked and then they started to catch fire in the second. So this was a good game. I definitely would love to see these individuals playing the playoffs, but this is an NFC and an AFC team, so the only way we see that is in the Super Bowl.
And then we had, honestly, I think one of the more boring games of the season, not season, but of the slate. The Eagles beating the Browns, 20-16. We're both on the Eagles here, for good reason. Browns, just to show like some statistics, like they were 0 for 26 on third down conversions.
Wow.
On one point. Like they converted on third down this game, but they threw the stat up there. Over 26 on third down conversions. They were like statistically one of the worst team in the last 20 years offensively. Like just off their offense is like you got to go back to like 2003 to find a team that's been as bad as them. Deshaun Watson has only thrown like 2 touchdowns, only like twice in his whole stint. With the fucking or like 3 times with his whole stint with the Browns. Like there's just all these crazy statistics to show how bad offensively this team is. And here's the fun one. Their safety is tied for their most scored touchdowns. The safety with 2. Yeah, like they're not winning any games. Their defense is done. They traded Amari Cooper. They're not firing the coach. Pat McAfee made a good point that like it was probably the owner who was the one that greenlit the $300 million because it's his money. Give me Deshaun Watson $300 million, all guaranteed. I'll give him a fucking money right now. Like, bam, like fucking only one person got that fucking power to do that. And it was the owner. And you can't fire the coach. You can't fire the GM. You can't do anything. You fucked it up. You did this. So now you got to reap the benefit. You got to reap it. And Mari Cooper's out of town. Bigger than the game, like, are the Browns dead, Kev? And second, are Nick Sirianni, did you see him? He shaved his head and he was getting feisty with the fans in the stand.
So they were in that. So Bill Belichick.
I like it personally. I don't give a fuck, but yeah.
So it was funny. I think as entertainment wise, for sure. I mean, I don't think it's gonna mean too much, and I think he played it off well because you seen at the press conference, he had him and all his kids.
Nah, bro, no, you can't do that, bro. You can't bark. You can't bark.
I'm a family man. What you mean? So my thing was the Eagles aren't that great a team because like there was no point in this game where I thought, yo, the Eagles like have this in the bag.
None.
At one point in the game, and we're talking about how bad the Browns played. I think their O-line. I don't like Deshaun Watson at quarterback, but I also don't like that O-line at all. Like even a little.
But they have all pro caliber guys now. Like the injuries were early in the season, but those guys are back now. And I think it's more they don't like the guy behind them because you see whenever the clips of him trying to pick up somebody and they smack the hand away. Like I think it was O lineman. They smacked the hand away from like get your hand away and pick themselves up type shit. Like they just don't fucking want him.
I was gonna say they gave up 5 sacks, so I'm like, they just don't fuck with bro. They can't.
And then Baker. throwing, Baker on the other side of town doing some things.
Yeah, they look stupid right now for that because they ran Baker out of town. But that was also the fans too, and Odell's dad. So it was an everybody thing. But the Browns are cooked for sure. The Eagles, I don't think are anything great, but it is what it is. We'll see. And I also think it's funny that Myles Garrett probably made the best play of the fucking game when he jumped over the O lineman to get the block. That shit was insane.
Bill Belichick clowned him. He did it his style. Like he made him sound like idiots. He was like, so you see, like, someone's coming up on the A gap,
Yep.
and your whole job is, he literally said, like, you just gotta have a little bit of IQ to be like, hey, the A gap, we gotta block the A gap. That's all I'm asking for. Just a little bit of IQ, and like it's basically like buried the fuck out of the guy without even
No,
like saying it out
I
loud.
literally heard that this morning. The funniest part to me was when he was like it's a penalty if they touch you. So all you gotta do is touch him. And then Pat McAfee's like on some yeah, man, all you gotta do is like just touch him, blah blah blah. Bill's like, yeah, fucking flip his ass.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the best play. And to see Bill break it down is fucking even better. Next game on the
lastly with the Knicks series, I think from the coach's point of view, it's very funny because Bill Belichick also talked about the Philly fans and how they'd be doing the starting lineups and they'd be like, Teddy Bruschi sucks. Matt Light sucks. Bill Belichick
really
sucks. So like you could understand. So the fact that they kept saying the fire Nick chant and then he came back to him and said, hey, what the fuck you said? I just wanted to flex on this one. Maybe if there was like maybe later you could look
top
at them.
30.
Maybe you could have maybe did something like against maybe a Cowboys team. Now you could look at you could have looked at them and said, and you could have did it cool. Like you could have been a gangster and just said, but nah, you fucking like that? You fucking like you're not Kirk. Stop that. But now we can get on to the next game.
One of the bigger blowouts. We have back-to-back blowouts. The Packers beating the Cardinals. We're all over this. Packers. You hit it more nail on the head. I thought Josh Jacobs would get more of the involvement. You said Jordan Love was going to do his thing and get everyone involved, and that just seems to be the way the Packers show is done. It's 4 touchdowns, 1 to Watson, 1 to Romeo Dobbs, fucking 1 to Jalen Reed, or no, 2 to Dobbs, 1 to Jalen Reed. Like Matt LaFleur, I hope he's in the coach of the year running just because it is like, look how smooth sailing it is with like fucking our offense is fucking playing phenomenally. Everyone's cooking this, that, and the third. Me and you should have been on the Romeo Dobbs. Probably he's going to score a touchdown this game because he was complaining about targets the game prior.
I thought they weren't playing. Like, I really did not think none of these dudes were
For
playing.
whatever reason, we didn't point out because he definitely was complaining about targets, and we're usually all over that. We complain about targets, you're going to score a touchdown that next game. And you're probably going to get like 25 targets. So he got 2 touchdowns. Cardinals didn't. The offenses didn't do enough. Marvin Harrison gets out with a concussion. Hopefully he'll be back soon. But once Harrison went out, James Conner didn't do a goddamn thing on the ground, and I felt like the Cardinals crumbled. And the Packers just kept fucking, like, they didn't give a fuck if you were scoring or not. They were just like, yeah, our offense is doing the same goddamn thing every fucking drive.
Nah, fact. I mean, this is one of those games I fell asleep for, and I just kept looking up, like, yo, bro, what the fuck is going on with this Packers team? Like, they're really eating. And then what did Marvin Harrison Jr. He got like a concussion, like in the world.
Yeah, like on it, like the third pass towards him or something, 2nd pass, real early in the game.
Yeah, so we praying for that boy, of course. But this Packers team, they just dare him. Did they get another takeaway this week?
Xavier McKinney did not keep the streak. No interceptions. There was a fumble, 3 fumbles.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 fumbles that could kind of stall out drives. Packers defense is also the unsung hero throughout the season because like they are definitely stepped up to the plate.
They're the defense I always thought they were. Like when they were going to NFC championships, getting 3 interceptions, doing their thing. Like that was the team that I thought I kept seeing because they kept having the same people. But like now I think they're finally playing at their full potential.
And I'm not hating on Jordan Love. I just want to see if it's sustainable because there was like someone made a little clip and posted it on Twitter. and they're like, Jordan Love is just Will Levis if he just got every fucking good break. And they just put a little clip of the passes he threw in this game. And there were a lot of like double and triple coverages, putting the ball like right where it needs to be. Otherwise, it's probably going the other way. But so I'm like, damn, but those are some tight windows. You're just squeezing them bitches into right now.
Ah, man. Hey, hey, next time at me, and I'm gonna look at him and say, "It's football, baby." Sometimes you just gotta make a play. You know that's the guy that's gonna do it. Calvin, nobody said nothing. Matthew Stafford did it to Calvin Johnson.
And then we had a game that was kind of crazy, 51-27. Tampa Bay beats the dog shit out of the Saints, but going into halftime, it's
This was
it's
a
fucking
ball game.
24-27. Saints were down 17-0 into the first quarter. Come into the second quarter, rattle off a couple touchdowns, couple field goals. It's 20-17 within a couple minutes. Baker throws a couple interceptions to help set that up. And then, of course, Sean Tucker, the backup running back, comes in. I think Ricard White gets hurt. So, like, Sean Tucker comes in. He catches a pass. Baker and them boys go on another fucking scoring spree. And the next thing I know, I swear, at one point in this game is blowout. Damn, Saints came all the way back and went. They come back. Holy shit, the Bucks just blew their fucking asses out again. Like, fucking blew their asses out twice in the same game. Like, how the fuck that happened?
See, I was watching the Ravens and the Cowboys, Ravens and the Commanders game, so I'm watching the fucking score for this game, and I'm like, how the fuck are the Bucks scoring? Why are the fucking Saints scoring? And I finally tuned into the game, and I must be the Saints bad luck charm because them boys looked horrible when I started watching the game.
Rattler, bro, I swear, I checked something. People were saying, "Damn, Rattler looking good." Who fuck Rattler? Like Bucks fans hating on Rattler because he's snapping. And then next thing you know, I see like Saints fans want Rattler's head on a stick, and I'm like, God damn, like how the hell you change so quickly?
It's not Sam Tucker, it's Sean Tucker fault because I was like, oh fuck, I gotta make sure.
Sean Tucker, sorry.
I gotta go pick him up off the waiver wires, but I might have to see.
I feel like it was just if it was Derek Carr in this game, they maybe be able to. It is a game where it's 44-47. It's a shootout back and forth. But Rattler only had so much in him. And it was also Baker setting up the interceptions for the good field position. But then it was like, now we're leaning on Rattler to really sustain drives, to keep, like, you got to score every possession. And like, he just didn't, you can't expect that from your fourth round pick, fifth round, third round, whatever fucking round they got him in.
Nah, dead ass. I just was shocked that it was a ball game and they were able to do. But when the Bucks stopped making mistakes, they showed like, yo, bro, we're the better team and we're gonna get you the fuck up out of there. Because I keep looking back at that Bucks versus Commanders game, and I keep thinking like that was what the Buccaneers is in that game right there. That Commanders, when that game against the Commanders, their offense can light shit up. They got the fucking weapons, they got the chemistry, they got the mold. They still some bitches, but their defense does do their thing. So they're cool. I can't wait to play them boys again.
Then we had the Titans losing at home to the Colts. You had the Colts, I had the Titans. And honestly, Titans are up. Like, this was one of the more boring games. There was just a lot of punts, a lot of short drives, not a lot of scoring. And when it did happen, it was very anticlimactic, except for the Flacco. Flacco had a good throw. But the Titans were up 17-10. I'm feeling good. 17-13. I'm feeling good. But like all second half, the Titans had no offense. Like Will Levis just completely, he blew his load early, and in the second half was absolutely nothing. Like it was punt. But I'm gonna go peep right now. They come out at halftime. They scored a touchdown. Then they go 3-and-out, interception. 6 plays and a punt, and they end the game. Like that was like they had nothing in the second half. They allowed the Colts to come down multiple times and score to basically come back and win this game. And I was kind of upset because I was like, damn, if that was Ryan Tannehill, they win this game. If that was Mason Rudolph, they win this game. But the fact that they just they keep willing out a quarterback that probably is not the answer, I just don't understand it. Like I understand the future and all that stuff, but like they got like the Colts the Colts are okay with Joe Flacco because they're like, yeah, we're winning fucking games. Let Anthony Richardson stay on the sideline for right now. He's kind of still banged up, but fucking y'all gotta do something because this is not winning football. Will Levis is not the it.
It's crazy. I feel like they don't be getting blown out like that. I feel like they just make those like Will Levis makes those bonehead plays, and I just feel like they just don't have anybody else better on that team right now. Like I feel like they go
Mason
to
Rudolph would have fucking scored something, a field goal. He would have got past the 50-yard line.
Yeah, because damn. You know what's crazy? In all their losses, they've scored 17, except for the Packers. They only scored 14. But they've scored 17 first week. They scored 17 the second week against the Jets, and they scored 17 this week against the Titans. So yeah, they can't score more than 17. And once they hit that threshold, they start making hella mistakes. Like the first week, they were like, "Bro, we could have fucking punted the ball the whole time, and we probably would have been straight."
Yeah, like
I think
your defense is playing solid.
I think Will Levis is definitely a loser for sure. Like he can lose you games, but I just don't like. I think when they look at who put, like, I don't know if you put Mason Rudolph in there, it immediately turns anything great. I think they probably have to wait till they quit on the season and then they could throw like a Mason Rudolph or somebody in there.
Well, shit, didn't they win that game when he came in?
But he didn't play the whole game.
No, no, he didn't. But they looked a lot better.
That was against y'all.
Yeah, it was against us.
Yeah, I was saying y'all on y'all third quarterback.
I don't want to. Let's keep up. We had to. We were all over the Broncos. Kev, egg on our head. Chargers kind of whooped the ass, 23-16. The score doesn't tell you what really happened. It was 23 to fucking 0, and in the fourth quarter, they scored a touchdown. They score another touchdown, but then they go for two and they don't get it. And at that point, I think the game was over because you had to get 16 points. So you don't get to go. You fail on the first go for two. At that point, it's still a 2-possession game. They get the ball back. They kick the field goal. Turns it within one possession with just like with less than a minute left. Onside kick doesn't work, but like Bo Nix was. I try to make the comparison like Justin Herbert and Bo Nix stats are very comparable. The Chargers, the fucking difference showed on the field. Like fucking Bo Nix was atrocious for like up until the fourth quarter where the defense allowed them to drive and score touchdowns and shit. Bo Nix was another one of those days where it was like offense got 70 fucking yards as a unit. And if it wasn't for that fourth quarter, it would have been some terrible stats put out on at the end of the week. But yeah, Herbert showed the difference. He made the plays. He didn't have a crazy stat line. He didn't need to have a crazy stat line. J.K. Dobbins running the ball still really well. And this is all without the coach. Fucking Harbaugh had like a heartbeat of 250, 300 on the sideline. They had sent his ass to the hospital. That's a fucking cardiac arrest.
That's scary.
They end up getting this dub. So good win for them. Chargers are one of those like sleepy, this good ball teams. And I think that's what you get with a Jim Harbaugh team. Just good ball.
Definitely. I respect it because I think the Chargers showed that we were hurt. Like we definitely had some games where we looked a little sluggish, but we were hurt. And that bye was very nice for us. I think when did PS2 go out? Second quarter?
I think so. Maybe first quarter. It was earlier in the game.
Yeah, he went out second quarter, but I think they were but it's not like anything was stopping our offense anyways. So he definitely played well. I'm never coming into a week like feeling myself like I did this week on Bronco County. But they showed they did well. I definitely love J.K. Dobbins' game. I have him on my bench in one of the fantasy leagues. So he's definitely going to get a flex spot or something. But they balled out, and shout out the Chargers. Now they're showing that they can start stringing along some wins. They might be kind of dangerous come towards the end of the year. As long as they play defense, though.
And then we had my other lock, Steelers beating the dog shit out of the Raiders, 32-13. No fucking worry at this point. shout out Najee Harris. He gets over 100 yards. Only on like 15 carries too. So yeah, he finally had a really good game. Justin Fields did enough to win per the usual. Chris Boswell is having a hell of a season at kicker. Defense just absolutely toasted fucking Aiden O'Connell. Like we said, like I said, I thought 3 points was kind of like this was kind of an easy lock for me, and I'm happy I took it. I actually parlayed my locks, Kev. I took your advice, and I said, fuck it, I'm gonna take the Bears and the and Steelers. Parlayed that together, got a
Nice.
little payout. It was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this. 10-2 on. I don't think I gave out our locks record. You went 2-0. I went 2-0. You're 8-4. I'm 10-2. So we're eating on the locks. Then I just want to. I don't really care about the game. I just wanted to bring up how they're talking about how Russell Wilson is going to be maybe he's getting first team reps and he's probably going to be starting maybe come next week. But there, Justin Fields is also getting first team reps. So Mike Tomlin might be playing a little fucking mind game on who's actually going to be starting. Some people are saying it's crazy that you pull Justin Fields when the Steelers are 4-2. He has like 1,300 all-purpose yards, 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The Steelers are winning. You know, like all that. Like offense is looking decent. It's not like he's losing games. Who knows? I don't know, but like I just thought that was a crazy because that's all the story's been about with the Steelers the past like 24 hours is that Russell Wilson potentially is going to be starting this week.
Yeah, I didn't even hear that. I hope he doesn't. That's terrible. But I was watching this game and I was watching this defense play, and I was like, this is exactly what me and Paul fucking said. This defense is not giving up more than 13. So all you have to do is score 14. And I like Justin Fields as a starter because he doesn't make mistakes. I think when Russell Wilson comes with mistakes and excuses and yeah, man, I got to take accountability. I got to play better. No, Justin Fields just goes in, plays the game, and does enough to fucking win.
And the O line's banged up, and people are showing clips of when like from this game too, like he hikes the ball in the pocket, like he literally goes, he hikes it from shotgun, ball gets to him, the fucking tackle is already like right next to him, like he has to, he just the moment he catches the ball, he just bolts, and it's like a 9 yard gain up the middle because he's an athlete. And they're like, this is something Russell Wilson is not going to be able to. That this is going to be a sack when Russell Wilson comes.
Oh, 1,000%. And it's
So
gonna be somebody else's fault.
and I didn't even take that into account. I was like, oh, that's true. Like it's just like Justin Fields is just that much better of an athlete. So when the O line does kind of play like ass, he can at least make 4 or 7, maybe even 30 yards out of that play. And my whole thing with him on the Broncos was I was like, he don't give a fuck to run no more. He is not risking his body. He's worth a fucking 50 million a year. He's not giving a fuck to truck somebody. So yeah, that would be crazy. But yeah, the defense is gonna win them games. And as long as they maybe Russell Wilson does not turn the ball over, but neither was Fields. But as long as they get someone at the helm, don't turn the ball over, they're gonna win the games. Mike Tomlin's gonna make sure of that.
Hell yeah. Hell motherfucker, yeah. And like they say, it's the standard, and they keep that motherfucking standard strong.
And Antonio Pierce is on the hot seat too, and his seat probably only getting hotter because I doubt they're gonna win a lot of games without Davante Adams and Aiden O'Connell's the future. So yeah. Next game, Lions being the dog shit out of Jerry Jones and the Cowboys on Jerry Jones' birthday. I think it was the worst home loss in history.
Oh, worst loss in the history of Jerry Jones's tenure as the Cowboys.
47-9. And I just want to say, Cup, we said about how Vegas didn't understand the Cowboys because it was a 3-point line. And we just didn't like, we were like, yeah, the Lions are probably going to beat the shit out of the fucking Cowboys.
Facts. So I wanted to bring this up because like anytime I hear this word, I'm like, this is Paul's favorite word. But this was a scorigami game.
Yes, it was. There's 2 this week, actually.
Really, I didn't hear. I remember they was doing it. They was like, as long as it was like 2 minutes left, so they was like, as long as the Cowboys don't score, this can end as a scorigami game because they've never had this score in the NFL before.
I want to say it was the Bucks and the Saints was the other scorigami game.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh yeah, them blowouts is crazy. But this game, like the Lions were doing their fucking thing. First off, we praying for Aiden Hutchinson. Is tragic to have
Oh
such a
yeah,
great,
fuck.
and when it's a bad injury when like when the players on the field are just like because they don't want to show you him because it's gruesome. They didn't. I still haven't seen it. I
He
don't know
went
if I want.
he went into immediate surgery. Like I got the notification was like he got in the ambulance, went to the hospital, and is undergoing surgery right now. I was like, oh fuck. I don't ever see someone going into surgery right now. Like
And I would love to hear the explanation behind like what happened because he went for the sack. He got the sack,
he
but
broke
like
his he like broke his fibula tibular, like both of them, I think. Like I think bone was out of leg type shit.
wow,
So I
wow,
can understand going into surgery immediately because now you got to put bone, back into leg.
wow. So yeah, we praying for bro. And they said that was a bad one.
Yeah, and no, that was real bad. They're saying they need to maybe trade for somebody because like it's win now. Um, but also like their D line, I think they got like 2 or 3 more sacks after he went out. I'm not gonna lie. So it was also like, bro, like I don't know, it was just the Cowboys played that bad of a game where at a certain point you just don't give a fuck. I know in Madden, you ever play Madden, you're down by like 30 points. You start calling fucking 4 verts every fucking play. You don't care. You're
Oh
taking stacks left and right, like you're throwing interceptions, like. But
yeah, no, that was 1,000%. They definitely They definitely stopped giving a fuck because even Cooper Rush when he came in, it felt like he didn't give a fuck. Cause he, I think they ended the game with an interception
fuck it, we're just fucking trying to,
in the
fuck.
end zone. Like,
We need touchdowns, like 8 of them. About 8 of them in 3 minutes, bro. Let's fucking do it, boys.
bro, this shit was so bad that the Lions started to get the O lineman involved.
But three
That was
different
crazy.
times. It was like 3 different O linemen.
They were trying to get the big boys some touchdowns, and they
What was your
tried.
What was your
They
favorite one?
tried.
My personal favorite one was when they had Skipper just line up at wideout. Like one on one with the corner. I was like, bro, what the fuck?
No, my favorite was the pitchback.
The hook and
I'm
ladder.
the one that got took back. That shit
Yeah.
was crazy because he hit him with the lateral and they fucking. It was his level of hustle because like he really was. It wasn't a touchdown, but he like maybe if he did it and put his elbow down, it would have been a little bit. No, it would have been a touchdown, but he tried, Paul. And like everybody was like, "Bro, just give it to him."
This to me, I think was the eye opener. For Cowboy fans, Vegas, everyone around the world. Like, this is the eye opener of like, yeah, the Cowboys are not that team this season. Where like last year, even if you didn't think they're a Super Bowl team, come regular season, it didn't matter who they played. Like they could beat anybody, Chiefs,
As long as they
Ravens,
win.
Bills.
Mhm.
But this is the year where all of that shit's crumbling. Like they don't have a running game. The CD
Oh,
is not taking over games to be like, oh yeah, we're okay without multiple wide receivers. Like they're just cooked. Like O line's not as good anymore. Defense doesn't look good. And this was the game that I think, like they say the shot heard around the world. Like this was a shot that was heard around the world. Like, oh yeah, Cowboys are done.
that's our favorite word.
And Jerry Jones is on the morning show of his local Dallas radio that he always goes on. And they ask him fair questions like is there like just basic questions of like, hey, like you paid the quarterback, your wide receivers. There's no money for anything else. Like this is the team of the future. Like, is there like how do you expect like this to work? Like, and he was basically got real defensive and mad and was like, if like, oh, like he basically at one point said like, I'm gonna get someone to take your job and ask me the questions, like better questions, because this is bullshit. Like he got real mad. Like it was some crazy shit. Yeah, so it's not looking good for the Cowboys. And our final game on the slate, the Bengals beating the Giants 17-7. It wasn't the Bengals star-studded offense. Um, honestly, it was a lot of defense. This was a snoozer of a game for a Sunday night game. I won't say that the Giants, like, because the Giants were in this game the whole game, like prior to the fourth quarter. Oh, damn, we did.
Damn.
You want to know what happened? You want to know what happened? I don't know what happened, but for
Damn.
some
I was
reason
like,
now the Falcons are part of my favorite teams on my ESPN, so they put y'all at the top of my ESPN list.
that's funny as fuck. But you know what's even crazier? I felt like I looked it down and I was like, dang, I fucked it up because I went to the Bears. We are supposed to go backwards. So like the Falcons are low-key supposed to be the third team we talked about. So I was supposed to get. I've been waiting to get lit because come on, are we 3-0 in this NFC South right now? That's a nice little run. You feel me? But they all were games closer than needed to be because there's even a point in time where you thought the Panthers had a chance in this game. So like we got them 50-50 games is Kirk's favorite right now. We looking good, but that's not how you want to play, especially in these division games. Because 50-50 starts off 3-0, but can end fucking 4-2. Like we gotta lock in. Like you feel me? So our team played well. We played spectacular all over the place. AJ Terrell got him a pick.
You did.
Oh, I wanted. if I had Bill Belichick's phone number, if I had that number, fall, oh, I would have sent that play immediately. I would have been, and then I would have sent that meme. Bring me my money.
Yeah, no, I will say. I mean, this is the Falcons that I had on the preseason picks. Defense playing great. I will say the defense made good second half adjustments because first half it was a ball game. It was definitely close. Andy Dalton was cooking. Second half as they started getting some takeaways. I will say also that the Falcons second half, the drives that were touchdowns in the first half, I felt like turned into field goals in the second half. Y'all still
Yeah.
got 38 points, so it don't fucking matter. Like 38 points is gonna win y'all 95% of every week. So but you know, this was the Panthers, and I if this is the Falcon, I mean they already beat the Chiefs was a one play away, but 3-0 in division. Can't ask for anything better than that. And Bucks fans can't say a goddamn thing on the Falcons takes right now.
Oh
They are
man,
hooping though. They are hooping on their side.
but the Bucks can talk all the fuck they want because they're gonna talk regardless. Winning, losing, they're balling right now, so we gonna respect them. And we just gonna see them again, and when we bust their ass, period, who gonna talk? But in the meantime, listen to your motherfucking division leaders, pussies.
Yeah, no, I know that feels nice. I wish I could be at the mountaintop with you.
And it's great. We're both 4-2. Like we have stellar records, but niggas lost that head to head. But shout out to my Falcons. I do like your take on touchdowns in the first half started turning into field goals because the third quarter I felt like we started to settle. And I was really lit when Tyler Algier scored that touchdown in the fourth. I was like, all right, cool. Like this is why. I love the idea of having a two-headed dynamic back. One guy to be strong, and then one fast dude that can catch, and another dude to kind of come in and change the pace. Like we love that.
Yeah.
Defense.
The Alligator touchdown was to me was like the icing on the top because before the field goals it was still like an 8-point game, and then when Alligator scored that touchdown it was a 15-point game in the fourth quarter, and it was like yeah, the Panthers need to have 2 scoring drives and go for 2 if they even want, and have to stop the Falcons. You know, like at that point I was like yeah, game over. Good shit scoring a touchdown here, boys.
Facts. But so yeah, shout out my Falcons game. But now we can get into these Bengals versus these damn Giants. And I want to start off with the end of the game because I want to say the Broncos did this too, but I'm noticing that teams are kicking the field goal and then hoping for the onside kick to come back for the touchdown. I'm like, I can see that definitely makes sense and it's looking strategic. I'm like, how long have they been doing this?
But I would do it too, only because most of the time it's because it's like fourth down and your offense hasn't been doing nothing.
It's like second down they're going for these field goals. Like the Giants missed that field goal on second down, and then they were like, "Oh, game was over."
Oh damn, they did go for a second down. You're right.
And I want to say the Broncos went for it on first down.
Was it okay? Most time I didn't peep that, but most time when they go for a fourth down, I understand it's like damn, Go for it on fourth down and get nothing out of this drive, and we're down 2 possession, game over, or at least get one of the two things. But going for it on first or second down, that should just show you like their mindset in this offense.
No, it made sense when the Broncos did it because the Broncos made it. So I was like, okay, let's because it's like a timing thing because you're going for it on second down with like 52 seconds left or something like that. So like it makes more sense to get the score and then try to go for the deep bombs, Hail Marys type shits than to keep eating up clock, maybe get the score, and then try an onside kick and try to get close to field goal range. So like I understand it. That makes sense. But I was just like, no onside kick has worked this season. At least I haven't seen one.
I don't think there has been one that worked this season.
No, because it would be fucking put on the fucking pedestal for doing that. Like they changed the kickoffs. Kickoffs has been motherfucking. You've still been able to run back kickoffs, but you're not kicking that winning that onside kick. So I thought that was hilarious, and I think this Giants team is just going to be a team that gets random wins throughout the season. They're never going to be good because there was not once that they kind of because this Bengals defense is not a good defense. So there was never one point they ever felt like they could overpower this defense, and they didn't score until the third quarter.
But we did say this is the games they gotta win. The Bengals just beat the Giants to make them 2-4. They got the Browns up deck, and if they beat them, they're 3-4. And then you're at least sitting in a good spot where you got the Eagles to follow up on. And if the Eagles stay the team that we keep watching, it's a 50. That's a game that they can win there. Now you're sitting at 4-4, and then you got the Raiders on deck, and potentially, if all things go right, the Bengals are 5-4. So like this is the stretch of games where good teams win because we see it with the Chiefs. Whenever we always talk about at least previous years when the Chiefs start off like 2-3 or 2-4 or fucking 3-5, and we're sitting here like, damn, the Chiefs aren't looking like the Chiefs. And of course, they turn it up, and the next thing you know, they're like 7-7, and they go and win the next 3-4 games and whatever. But that's what the Bengals got to do here. They got the next stretch of games. They won this one. They didn't do it pretty. They just won. And that's all that fucking matters. Because they looked pretty the last couple of games, putting up 38, 34, and all that. But they didn't win. This game, they won 17. It wasn't pretty. The Giants fucking definitely got in Joe Burrow's face a lot of the time. The D-line, Brian Burns got a big sack. Dexter Lawrence got a big sack. Joe Burrow gets that one big fucking rushing touchdown. And other than that, I feel like the offense looked dead. But they won. So at the end of the day, I can't grill them too hard because if they do this for the next 3 weeks, we're talking about the Bengals are 4-4.
Yeah, but we'll see. Like they just need to catch. They don't need to catch heat. They need to catch fire. And this was a good trending toward way up. I like how that you put together their schedule because it's a very doable schedule to end up 4-4. And then now we're looking like, okay, let's see what the Ravens and commies look like right now. But I don't want to get ahead of it. Right now. It's just take one game at a time. This wasn't the game that screams, yeah, man, this team is back alive, blah blah blah. But those games that they did scream these teams are back alive, blah blah blah, they made a mistake late and lost. So we like these games. Defense showed up. Can his defense keep doing that? We'll see. But in the meantime, keep balling, boys.
All right. Well, we just recapped the whole slate, y'all boys, from top to bottom. We went from front to back, back to front, however the fuck you want to break it down. NFC and NFL Week 6 was a fucking good one. I mean, on the picks, we 8. So, Kev, we got to remember, next week, there's probably going to be a few dogs where we're scratching our head like, damn, we didn't see that one happening just because the books got cooked. But y'all boys 8 this week. As always, give us a like, give us a subscribe, drop a comment down below. I'm Paul. Pick a winner of conscience. Kevin, Water Voice of Boy.